Hi there, well, thanks for waiting. This is part 5 of What If Naruto Was Kamen Rider Faiz. So let's start. Chapter 11. 2 weeks have passed since the joint training session. Kakashi, after the beatdown, took training his students a tad bit more seriously, and by that, I mean he still teaches them the teamwork exercises, only adding tree walking, water walking and several E-rank ninjutsu, genjutsu and taijutsu. So, basically, Team 11 is by now the weakest genin team who thinks they are the best in history. Anyway, enough about Team 11 and to Team 7 and 12. The two teams have completed over 100 D-rank missions, mostly thanks to Naruto using Cage Bunshin after gaining permission from his parents. So, now the two teams are headed for the Hokage Tower for a new mission. As the teams entered the office, Minato smiled at the genin. So, Team 7 and 12, ready for another day of D-rank missions. He stressed the vocal D as he said it and saw the genin win.
Okay, so we are...
In the beginning, the two teams actually enjoyed the missions, something that none of the teams ever did, well, unless they were Junin who went on Beta S rank missions that would result in death frequently. But even doing D ranks for so long would make anyone go crazy. That included Teams 7 and 12. Minato, Kushina and Mikoto all laughed at their children's expressions. Minato, still laughing a bit, said, "I wanted to see that. You've already passed the requirements for a higher ranking mission. I think you should just take AC rank every time you take a mission anyway. So, here's AC rank. Tazuna-san, you can come in now." An old man came in with a sake bottle, with a towel around his neck. He saw the two Junin and said, "Aka Shi and Kuroi Shi, Hokage-sama, you're sending two S-rank shinobi." Minato smiled and said, "Yes, they're taking their genin teams, so you're in safe hands." Tazuna nodded, satisfied that not only he had two S-rank shinobi protect him, the fact they were hot was also a plus, though he wouldn't say it out loud since one was the Hokage's wife and they hate perverts besides their husbands. Kushina said, "So we'll meet at the gates tomorrow at 7. Okay." She got nods from everyone as they left to pack. Naruto went to his room and got a week's clothing. And by that, it's just 3 sets of shinobi clothes and 1 set of sleeping clothes. After putting them into sealing scrolls, he took several dozens of ramen cups and placed them into more scrolls. He then stuck the scrolls onto the auto wagon. Hikari, Yuki, Suki, Hinata and Haruna packed the same, a large tent for 1, 2 and 3 people in Hinata, Yuki, Suki, Hikari and Haruna's cases respectively, 3 sets of clothing and a set of sleeping clothes each. They then went to train for the day, with the Uzumaki Namikaze siblings practicing the Hiraishin with their father, the Uchiha sisters training with their mother and Hinata sparring with her father. Next day, the two teams waited at the gates, waiting for the old man known as the super bridge builder Tazuna. Soon, the old man reached the gates and saw a group of annoyed females and one Uzumaki Namikaze Naruto reading a black book. Hikari had a tick mark and asked, "You're late, Tazuna-san. Don't you know to never keep ladies in waiting?" Tazuna said awkwardly, I got lost in the road of life." The females all face-faulted as Naruto snickered. Mikoto got up and sighed, "Never mind, let's just start moving, it'll take at least 2 days to reach Nami no Kuni since we have to move at civilian pace." Soon, they on the road. As they walked, Naruto felt 2 chakra signatures he hadn't felt in 3 years. He looked around and found the source of the chakra, a small puddle. He wanted to facepalm as there was only 2 people he knew would be so stupid to use such a disguise. He looked at the puddle. Guzu, Meizu, seriously, of all the choices you chose a puddle when it hasn't rained for days. "Get out here." Kushina and Mikoto were surprised. They were not surprised by the fact 2 missing nin appeared from the puddle. No, they were surprised Naruto knew them. Guzu and Meizu laughed. "Naruto, long time no see, bro." Naruto sighed. "So, are you waiting for someone?" Meizu noticed Tazuna. "Actually, we were hired by Gato to kill him. But seeing as you're here, we might as well tell boss to call off the contract. I'm sure with you here he'll do it without a doubt. Plus boss is pissed at Gato anyway." Naruto sighed again. "Let me guess, this Gato made passes at Haku-chan." Meizu nodded. Naruto shook his head. "Never mind. So we're headed to Nami, you coming with us or you're gonna go back to tell them?" Meizu laughed. "Nope, we're coming with you. Boss is hiding in front in case we were beaten by someone. Naruto nodded. Of course. He said it sarcastically. The girls were dumbfounded. Here was Naruto conversing with two missing nin like they were old buddies, which they were. Kushina asked, Naruto, how do you know these two? Mikoto and girls nodded. Yes, we'd like to know as well. Meizu answered, you see, boss and us were chased by Oinen from Kiri, and we found Naruto's room by chance in a hotel. We asked him to help us hide. We thought he'd sell us out to the Oinen, but he let us into the room and let us stay there for the time. He even went as far to lie to the Oinen to help us. We owe him our lives. The girls, Kushina and Mikoto nodded. Kushina said, fine, I wanna see who this boss of yours is. But if you two try anything, we'll kill you. The two missing nin nodded. As they walked, Tazuna would occasionally look at the two in fear. Naruto asked, so, Tazuna, what did you do to have Gato hire them? Meizu chuckled. Apparently this old man here is building a bridge that'd save Nami from Gato. The short idiot thought he'd have us kill him. Seriously, I'm surprised the dick hasn't thought of bombing the bridge when it's done. Would have made you lose resources and put you in a worse state. Tazuna paled at the thought as he never thought of it. Guzu then said, we're here. The group of 11 people found themselves in front of huge amount of mist. Guzu and Meizu smirked at Naruto, who smirked back. They then flared their chakra. The mist dissipated as a man came out. Mikoto and Kushina's eyes widened at the man. The man sighed. I was going to ask the two idiots why they came back, but I see I found the reason. Been 3 years, hasn't it, Naruto? Haku missed you a lot. Naruto smiled at the man. Yes, 3 years. I missed her too, Zabuza-sensei. The man now known as Zabuza shook his head. I prefer if you don't call me that anymore. I stopped being your sensei since we parted ways. I was hoping you'd call me how you used to before I took you on as an apprentice. Naruto chuckled. Fine, Zabuza-ni. Zabuza laughed. That's more like it. Haku, get out here. He yelled the last part towards the trees on his left. Suddenly, a blur of white and pink flew and tackled Naruto, causing him and the person to fall to the ground. Naruto laughed. Missed you too, Haku-chan. The masked girl stood up and pulled Naruto up. She took off the mask, revealing a beautiful face, and pouted at Naruto. You never write to us, Naruto-kun. Made me think you forgot about us. The girls from Konoha all glared at Haku's closeness with Naruto. They all noticed how Naruto seemed more at ease than how he acted in Konoha. It was like he was with family, open, warm and happy, unlike back in Konoha, where he was still happy, but colder and more guarded even if it was a little bit. Kushina and Mikoto also noticed this and felt a bit sad. Naruto then asked, so, Zabuza-ni, what are you gonna do now? Zabuza replied, I'm gonna call off the deal with Gato. We'll follow you and help protect Tazuna. I'm sure this'll make that short asshole to go to the bridge himself. I want to kill him anyways. Naruto nodded and replied, he made passes at Haku-chan, right? Haku nodded. It made me feel dirty. Naruto nodded. Guess that settles it. We'll all go to Tazuna's house and protect him. If Gato comes, we'll kill him, and if he doesn't, we'll take the fight to him. Zabuza, Haku, Guzu and Meizu nodded. Zabuza then noticed the others. He stuttered when he saw Mikoto and Kushina, aka Shi and Kuroi Shi. What are you two doing here? Kushina and Mikoto wanted to laugh at Zabuza's shocked face. Well, eyes as his face is mostly covered by his mask. Naruto said before they could say anything, Ka-san and Mikoto-sama are our team's sensei. We took on a joint mission to protect Tazuna to Nami. Zabuza looked at Naruto shocked again. You never told me your mother was Uzumaki Kushina. Wait, that means you're the Yondawa Hokage's son. Naruto nodded as if it was nothing. Haku was shocked since Naruto was practically the prince of Konoha. Tazuna was annoyed now. He said, so, can we move? The distance between my house and our position won't shorten itself, Yano. Kushina nodded. Fine, let's talk when we reach our destination. Naruto then said before they could move, wait, I have an idea how to get there today. I'll get the auto wagon and let Tazuna ride with me while you guys move at shinobi speed. That okay? Everyone found it acceptable and nodded while the girls secretly wanted to ride with Naruto. Soon, Naruto was riding the auto wagon with Tazuna sitting behind him enjoying the wind beating on his face. The others were jumping from tree to tree before running on the ground as there are no more trees to jump on. They soon arrived to the seaside that would have Nami at the opposite side. The group stopped before Kushina and Mikoto said, "Girls, you know the water walking technique, right? We'll use it to walk across." Getting nods, Kushina looked at her son. "So, Naru-chan, how are you gonna get your bike across?" Naruto smirked and said nothing. He then drove the bike towards the water. Tazuna waited for the water to reach his feet, but it never came as he soon found the bike to be moving on the water. Tazuna asked, "What the hell, Gaki?" Naruto chuckled as he saw everyone also wanted answers. "I applied the water walking onto the wheels. I only need to regulate the chakra as the wheels are constantly rolling. It was hell at the beginning and I had to get the auto wagon into battle mode whenever I sunk." The others nodded and they soon reached the other end of the shore. They then noticed a large half-completed bridge. Zabuza whistled appreciatively. "Wow, that is one large bridge. And you managed to build that much in a few days." Tazuna smiled proudly. "Yes, that is my current masterpiece, for a bridge anyway. Would have been quicker if we had more than 20 people, and our numbers are decreasing quickly as they fear Gato. I think we have only 15 now." The others listened as they continued moving. Tazuna then pointed to a double-story house. "That's my house. Come on." He got off the bike and ran to the door. He knocked the door and yelled, "Tsunami-chan, I'm back." The door opened and revealed a woman in her 20s. She had an apron on her and had a pretty face as well. Naruto looked at her and back at Mikoto. He asked, Mikoto-sama, the two of you look alike a lot." The woman looked at Mikoto and smiled. "It's been a long time, hasn't it, Mikoto?" Mikoto smiled back. 13 years, Tsunami." Yuki and Suki asked, "Ka-chan, you know her?" Mikoto looked at her daughters. "Know her? Suki-chan, Yuki-chan, this is your aunt. She was disowned by the Uchiha because she couldn't activate her Sharingan before the required age." Tsunami nodded. "I only activated in 5 years ago. Just a few years after Tu-san adopted me with the adoption ritual." Zabuza looked at Tazuna in shock. "You did the adoption ritual? That hasn't been done in decades." Tazuna nodded. "Well, I wanted to have a daughter, a true-blooded one. So when I found Tsunami on the streets, I took her in. She was and still is the best thing that happened in my life. Even gave me a grandson." Mikoto smiled at her long-lost sister. "So, you're married, so where's my brother-in-law?" Tsunami suddenly had a sad look. Naruto recognized the look along with every adult present. Naruto said, "He's dead, isn't he?" Just then, a boy had walked down and heard him. The boy gritted his teeth and yelled, "What do you know? You shinobi had good lives at your homes while we had to suffer at Gato's hands. My father got himself killed for just standing up to that asshole. You talk like as if you know what it's like to lose someone. You know nothing." The boy turned to leave, but was stopped as the temperature dropped severely. Naruto then unleashed ki so huge it made the civilians and the genin fall to the ground. It even made the missing nin and 2 junin sweat. Naruto walked to the boy and picked him up by the collar so that the boy was looking right into Naruto's glowing eyes. Naruto said calmly, but you could feel the anger, "Listen, kid, if it's about losing someone you care about, I had to watch the person I cared for get tortured in front of me before getting killed in the most brutal way I ever saw. The person was like a father to me, even more than my biological father. You lost your father who was killed by Gato, killed by a stab. Yes, I know how Kaiser was killed in Nami. I watched my own father figure burned, poisoned, electrocuted, stabbed, whipped, put an arrow to a wound making it worse, and much more. Before being killed by being buried in the ground, leaving the head above, kicked multiple times until his head came off. I had to watch this before Zabuza and the others saved me. So don't bitch around about losing someone you cared for. Stand up and get back at that damn motherfucker who killed your father like I did with the people who killed the person I cared for." Naruto then lifted the killing intent and walked out. The people from Konoha were shocked while Zabuza, Haku, Meizu and Guzu were donning sad faces. Kushina asked, "What did Naruto mean when he said he saw his father figure was killed?" Zabuza looked at the others as they nodded. He then opened his mouth to speak. after we met Naruto, we met another man named Narumi Sokichi. He was cold to us, but he was kind and had a warmth. He and Naruto developed a father-son relationship after he saved Naruto from death. But the two got captured by an Iwa nin. He killed Sokichi and Naruto let himself loose. He killed several whole teams of Iwa nin by himself in less than a minute and would have killed even more if the Yonbi Jinchuriki didn't interfere. Naruto succeeded to kill the man who killed Sokichi, though. He ripped the man's heart out and crushed it before crushing the brain. I've never seen someone at a young age kill like that. It was also why he ended up in the bingo book. He would have killed Han if the Tsuchikage didn't join the fight. With the kid saying those stuff, he opened up the painful memories Naruto spent a few weeks trying to forget. If Haku wasn't there, I can't think how Naruto would have ended up. Haku looked at the other girls from Konoha and they had a silent agreement. Together, the girls went to look for the boy they loved and cared for. They soon found the blonde in the middle of the forest in Faiz form slashing and punching at trees, with the Faiz shot and Faiz edge, completely destroying the area as he yelled out in frustration, trying to forget that day. Soon, he fell by a tree and began to break down into tears. The girls quickly moved and hugged him, whispering words to soothe him. Naruto soon fell asleep whispering, "Thank you," before unconsciousness fully embraced him. The girls smiled at him lovingly as they carried him back to Tazuna's home and placed him in a spare room before lying down with him. Chapter 12. The next day, Naruto woke up and saw his sisters, lovers, the Uchiha sisters, Hinata and Haku sleeping by him. He thought what had happened yesterday and smiled. I'm happy they care for me. Maybe I can get Haku-chan to follow me back to Konoha when this is over. Naruto sat up and this woke the girls up. Hinata asked, "So, how are you feeling today, Naruto-kun?" Naruto smiled, "I'm fine now, thanks to you girls." The girls blushed but were happy they could help him. Naruto got off the bed and changed as the girls went to the bathroom to change. After that, the 7 teenagers went down and saw Kushina, Mikoto, Zabuza, Maize, Uzu, Tazuna, the boy and Tsunami sitting there. Tsunami was telling the boy, "Inari, you remember when I told you I was once from Konoha?" The boy known as Inari nodded as Tsunami continued, "You see, we're from a clan, the Uchiha clan more specifically. There is a rule where if an Uchiha is unable to activate their bloodline, they will be banished. You follow me?" Inari nodded again. Tsunami said, "I failed to activate it before the required age and was exiled." "You have an aunt, Inari, and that is her, Mikoto." Inari looked at Mikoto and a thought came. He asked, "Wait, if you're my aunt, then does that mean they're my cousins?" He pointed to Yuki and Suki when he said the last part. Mikoto nodded in response. Inari saw Naruto and walked to the teen. "Naruto-san, I'm sorry about yesterday. I didn't mean to make you remember the past." Naruto looked at the boy. "You just said it, it's the past. I needed to get it off of me anyway. To be honest, I should be thanking you for that. Made me feel more at ease now." Inari just stared at the older boy, unsure what to say or do. Naruto then said, "So, shall we have breakfast?" Tsunami smiled at the boy and handed the teens several plates of food. After that, the 2 teams plus missing Nin and Tazuna headed to the bridge. Naruto was playing with the SB555W XL watch and the Faiz pointer. Suki and Yuki were chatting with Haku, Hinata, Haruna and Hikari. The 2 Junin were asking Zabuza about Naruto's time with them while Guzu and Meizu were playing with the gauntlets. Then they noticed a man walk up to Tazuna. The man said, "I'm sorry Tazuna, but I really can't keep this up. Gato will know who's building and kill us. He might be even planning to kill our families. I'm sorry Tazuna. But I can't help anymore." Tazuna sighed. "Fine, Ichi, you may leave." Naruto put away his gadgets and walked to the old man. "So, how many is it?" Tazuna sighed. "He is the 12th. Naruto asked, "So, how many do you need?" Tazuna asked, "What do you mean?" Naruto sighed and said, "I said, how many more people do you need?" Tazuna replied, "I need at least 50 to complete it by the weekend." "And that's pushing it." Naruto smiled and said, "I can get you 100. Tazuna had his eyes widened. "How?" Naruto smirked. The shinobi present knew what he was about to do. Naruto made a hand seal and said, Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. 100 clones then puffed into existence. Naruto looked at Tazuna. They know basic construction skills, so you can tell them to do whatever you want. Good luck. Naruto then walked back to the group as his clones were soon busy helping build the bridge. The group smiled at him. Well, Zabuza and the Oni Kyodai smirked at him anyway. They then went back to their own stuff. Unknown location. Gato was seething. He had just received news that Zabuza and his group had gone with Tazuna. The fact that Tazuna now had 2 S-ranked shinobi, hot ones at that to protect him, 2 A-ranked shinobi and 2 C-ranked shinobi as well to protect him didn't help. Gato was thinking of who to hire to kill them. Then, a thug came in. Boss, a man named Orochimaru wants to meet you. Gato raised an eyebrow. An S-ranked Nuke Nin wanted to meet him. That was new. It was usually him that wanted to meet Nuke Nin. He told the thug to let him in, and in came a pale long-haired man with tattoos right below his eyes. Gato said, "So, what do I owe the pleasure to meet the great Orochimaru?" Orochimaru smirked, "I'm here to make an offer. I hear the Yondawa Hokage's family is protecting someone you want to kill." After hearing the deal, Gato smirked, "You have a deal, bro." Orochimaru smirked as well. He thought, soon, Minato team. You will lose everyone that you care for. Maybe I can capture his son and daughters. The boy will make a good host if not Madara's descendant. The Akatsuki will lay off me if I get them the Jinchuriki. Back with the group, Tazuna and the clones were done for the day. They had already completed what should be done tomorrow, so the progress was astounding. It was evening now, and Naruto was training with the Faiz pointer. Standing in front of him was 30 enforced clones that would have to hit where a normal person would be killed. In Faiz form, Naruto slid the mission memory into the Faiz phone and pressed enter on it. The phone announced, "Exceed charge." Energy gathered in his left foot as Naruto jumped up and kicked. A beam hit a clone as it expanded into a drill. Then, Naruto appeared behind the clones as they puffed out of existence. The girls were helping Tsunami get the groceries for dinner while Zabuza and Tazuna were having a drinking contest. Kushina was on guard duty while the Oni Kyodai were teaching Inari about shinobi stuff and adult stuff. The girls got back and noticed a blushing Inari and knew what had happened. Suki and Yuki glared at the 2 demon brothers. "Meizu, Guzu, you didn't teach our little cousin about stuff he shouldn't know, did you?" The 2 laughed. "No, of course not." With Inari's blush, Suki and Yuki only looked at the 2 brothers. The girls said one word, "Run." They did as the Uchiha sisters chased the 2 for corrupting their new little brother, to which the men called it education. Naruto came in and saw the scene. The other girls said, "Don't ask." He complied as the 2 elder Uchiha sisters prepared dinner. Soon, the group, future family, were having a relaxing dinner. Well, Zabuza is Haku's adoptive father, Meizu and Guzu are Haku's adoptive brothers. Tsunami is Mikoto's sister, who is Suki and Yuki's mother, so that makes Tazuna the grandfather in a way. Naruto is going to be with Haku, Yuki, Suki, Hinata, Hikari and Haruna, Kyubi, Kin and Taiya, so they'll eventually become one large family. After desert, they went to rest for the next day. Next day, Naruto woke up and noticed he was sleeping alone. He went down and saw Tsunami and Inari working on shinobi skills. Tsunami was training in the Uchiha stance while Inari was trying to access chakra. In front of them laid 2 thugs. Naruto looked at Tsunami questioningly. She said, "What? Just because I was exiled and lived a civilian life doesn't mean I can't have shinobi training. And they wanted to let you sleep. You can go to the bridge. I can handle thugs anyway." Naruto nodded and mounted the auto-vagon and sped towards the bridge. As soon as he reached there, Gato appeared. Zabuza growled, "Gato." Gato smirked, "I see you betrayed our contract, Zabuza. Gives me a reason to kill you now. Guys, transform. This is a little gift from Orochimaru." The men behind him wore suits and hats. But what caught Naruto and Kushina's attention were the belts on their waists. They were orange, brown belts with devices that looked like when the Faiz phone was before it was pushed down into the slot of the Faiz driver. The men said, "Henshin." Their belts announced, "Complete." Now stood hundreds of riot troopers, black and orange in color. Naruto and Kushina materialized their own belts. Kushina dialed 913 and pressed enter, while Naruto dialed 555 and pressed enter. Their belts announced, complete. They then transformed into Kaisha and Faiz respectively. Kushina and Naruto drew their swords as Gato flicked his hand. The riot troopers charged as the group of shinobi charged as well. Naruto and Kushina were doing well against the riot troopers. Naruto and Kushina slashed but found killing them hard. Zabuza was slashing at the troopers and found it took more than a slash to kill them. As for the Genin, Haku and Demon Brothers, they were having a hard time attacking as the numbers were too much. They were holding their own as the riot troopers were only fake imitations of what the real rider gear could do. Suddenly, a few riot troopers slid mission memories into their Excel Ray Gunblade mode and charged at Haruna and Hikari with their energy-filled blades. Naruto noticed this and ran at them. He slid the mission memory into the Faiz phone and went into Excel form. But he had reached them before he could press the button, taking the stabs in Hikari and Haruna's place. The girls saw this as Naruto fell down, the Faiz suit dissolving, reverting Naruto back into human form. The girls yelled in fear, "Naruto-kun, Anai-chan." Everything Naruto saw became a blur, then he saw black. Kushina, Mikoto, Zabuza and the Oni Kyodai looked in disbelief, shock and fear as Naruto fell. Hikari and Haruna saw red. Kyubi roared as she shouted, "Go, kill them for hurting our mate." The two sisters then released a huge wave of red chakra as the red chakra surrounded them, forming a silhouette of a humanoid fox with one tail. They then charged and killed the troopers one by one. Inside Naruto's mind, he found himself floating in black space. He thought, "Am I dead?" A dark voice said, "No, but you will be. You are now in the middle of the realm of life and death. Tell me, do you want to live?" Naruto thought, "How? I'm dead already." The voice said, "I told you, we are in the realm where you are neither alive nor are you dead. You will have to make a choice, go to the dead and wait for your loved ones or go back and protect your precious people at a price." Naruto thought, "At what price?" The voice replied, "The cost of humanity. You will retain your personality, but you will become an orphanic, something that is neither human nor monster." Naruto asked, "What's the catch?" The voice laughed, "Clever, at least you know everything has a price. Unlike the other Uzumaki I've seen. For that, there is no price for you as you passed my test. Normally I'll tell them they'll know when the time comes and take away their sanity when they return. But seeing you passed my test, I'll let you keep it." Naruto thought, "But what's stopping you?" The voice laughed again, "I like you, Gaki. I swear it on my honor and my pride to not take anything from you. You only need to take control of your new power should you accept it." Naruto thought, "If it lets me protect my loved one, I'll accept it." The voice laughed again, "Good, then on this day forward, you shall be known not only as Kamen Rider Faiz, Uzumaki Namikaze Naruto. Starting from today, you will live on as the Kyoru or Fennec." Outside, Naruto floated up, gaining the attention of everyone, including the rage-driven sisters. Naruto then opened his eyes as marks appeared on his face. He then transformed. Now stood a figure, grey in color. He had a triangular-shaped helmet-like object on his head, claws and spikes on his shoulders and fins on the back of his waist. But what stood out most was the three symbols that were on Naruto's chest. The symbols formed a circle, with a pterodactyl at the top, a triceratops on the middle and a tyrannosaurus on the bottom, signifying Naruto symbolized a dinosaur. For the first few seconds, Naruto was in control. But he suddenly stiffened before he felt the energy taking over. He then let out a primal roar as he lost control, his white-grey eyes turning totally black. Naruto looked at the troopers and let out a surge of energy, causing ice to spread over the ground and encase the troopers. Surprisingly, the ice only continued over the ground when it reached the Konoha ninja, missing Nin and Tazuna. Haku was the most surprised. She thought, Naruto-kun can use Hayaton. Then the ice exploded, killing several trooper, and by several I mean he killed half of the riot troopers. Wings sprouted out of Naruto's shoulders as he flew up and came back down, creating a shockwave that decimated more troopers. Now there was only 100 troopers standing. The shoulder spikes then shot out, impaling 10 of the troopers. He then flapped the wings at the impaled troopers, blasting icy wind at them and encased them in ice once more. But this time, the ice didn't explode. The fins on the backside of Naruto merged and formed a large tail as he turned and swung, slamming into the troopers, instantly shattering them to pieces. Naruto then raised his right hand and slammed it into the bridge, shocking Tazuna as he feared for his creation. The shock soon subsided as the bridge was fine when Naruto pulled his hand out holding an axe. Energy surged into the axe as Naruto pushed the T-Rex-shaped lever and turned it into a gun. Naruto then released a large blast of energy from the axe-turned gun, instantly killing the remaining troopers. The deep voice then announced, "Ultra kill." Naruto slowly walked towards Gato, who was standing there in fear. Naruto grabbed him by the neck and raised him up, pulling his hand back and thrust into the man's chest, pulling out the heart before crushing it in his own hands. Then, Naruto threw Gato on the ground before placing his foot on the midget's head and stepped. Blood splattered everywhere as the brain was crushed to bits. Zabuza and the Oni Kyodai felt like they were watching what happened in Iwa again. The girls and Tazuna were green from the blood while Kushina and Mikoto were shocked by the sheer brutality Naruto displayed. Then, sounds of vomiting was heard. Everyone turned and saw a bunch of villagers standing there with pitchforks and shovels, vomiting at the scene. Naruto stiffened again as his eyes turned back to grey-white, breathing heavily. He heard a voice from within his mind, "Next time, King, you'll be doing the job. I'll tolerate you for a while since we care for the same people, but if you fail like today, I'll take over. Remember, I'm watching." Then the presence disappeared. Naruto, still in Kyoru or Fennec form, looked at the others and saw the fear etched in their faces. He focused and turned back into human before walking towards the girls. As soon as he reached them, he fell as the energy he unleashed took its toll. The girls quickly held him and prevented him from falling. Zabuza asked, "What in the nine hells was that?" Kushina replied in a soft voice, "The Orphenic form, a form when someone from our clan dies. They might be given a chance to come back to life, but if deemed unworthy, they become insane, something no one has done. Also something I had hoped to never be seen in Naruto." Inside the Uzumaki Namikaze sisters, the Kyuubi thought, Naruto-kun awakened his Orphenic form. This is gonna be so much trouble, though I'm grateful he accepted. I'll have to visit his mine sometime. Chapter 13. 2 days have passed since the incident at the bridge. While Naruto had brutally slaughtered the troopers of Gato and totally butchered the tyrant himself, the residents of Nami treated him like a hero. Wherever he went in the village, they'd thank him. Plus he already had a fan group, consisting of worshippers who wanted to be like Naruto, and to the ire of Hikari, Haruna, the Uchiha sisters, Hinata and Haku, fangirls. So Naruto learned the horror of fangirls Sasuke and Itachi had to endure. With Kushina and Zabuza on guard duty, plus Naruto's clones speeding up the bridge construction, we now see Naruto running from a group of fangirls with his sisters, the Uchiha sisters, Hinata and Haku following behind. Back in Konoha, Itachi and Sasuke thought, "My fangirl senses are tingling, someone has become one of us, tormented by fangirls. I feel sorry for him." Back to Nami, Naruto finally lost the fangirls with a dozen cage bunshin and was heading back to Tazuna's home with the girls. Inside Hikari and Haruna's mind, the Kyuubi said, "Hikari-chan, Haruna-chan, I'm gonna have to talk to Naruto-kun and go to his mindscape for a while later at night. So I'll be bringing him to your mindscapes to tell him later." "Okay." The girls nodded as they reached Tazuna's house. Once Naruto sat on the couch, everything disoriented and formed his sister's mindscapes. He saw the Kyuubi and asked, "Okay Kyuubi, what's up?" The Kyuubi smiled and said, "First off, I have a name, all Bijou have names, the Kyuubi is but a title, my name is Kasumi." Well, since DOA's Kasumi is a perfect description of what the Kyuubi should look like, why not just use the name? And for the reason I called you here, well, one is to tell you we're gonna take care of that problem of yours, for the lack of a better word. The second is, well, kinda like you. Naruto raised an eyebrow, kinda like me. Kasumi blushed, "Okay, I love you." Naruto thought, never thought the great Kyuubi would be flustered like that. Kasumi was having similar thoughts. Why the hell am I blushing? Why the hell am I stuttering? I'm the queen of Bijou, goddammit. Damn you to Sama for this. Naruto was curious why Kasumi would love him and asked, "So, would be so kind to tell me how you came to love me?" Kasumi blushed a deeper shade of red, rivaling one of Hinata, and said softly, "Well, I've seen how your parents treated you and ignored you for your sisters. Yet you still love them. You may act cold and sometimes an emo, but you hold a warmth and kindness behind them. From all the years I've lived, you're the second person I've seen to ever possess this kind of personality. That's what made me fall for you." Naruto's eyes softened. "I see. So, who was the first person?" Kasumi replied, "My father, the Rikudo Sennin, Otsutsuki Hagoromo." Naruto's eyes widened. He was actually having a conversation with the Kyuubi, daughter of the Rikudo Sennin. Then, a bright flash of chakra appeared. The flash died down and revealed an old man, wearing robes with 2 horns. He held a black staff with rings in it. Kasumi said, "Well," stuttered T2-sama. The sage smiled at his eldest daughter. "Been a long time, hasn't it, Kasumi?" Kasumi was surprised and confused. But how? Naruto stood in silence as he watched the father and daughter. Albeit an incredibly old father and daughter pair, converse, Hagoromo explained, "When you all gathered in the circle during my final moments, I injected an amount of chakra that would never deplete until the day I deemed fit to reveal myself. It was just like I predicted. All of you had gone into the paths of rampage in the human world. I'm quite disappointed that my sons never did listen to my teachings. Thought the 9 of you were better. You at least tried to pass my teachings. I placed myself into each of you so that when you find the thing that would lead you away from the wrong path, in your case, anger and hatred, I would appear. The thing you found is quite the opposite of anger and hatred, love and kindness. Seriously, of all my descendants, I never expected to ever see one like you, Uzumaki Namikaze Naruto, or should I call you Kaoru or Fennec?" Naruto didn't say anything. He was just awed by the aura Hagoromo released. The father-daughter pair saw his gobsmacked expression and laughed. Hagoromo said, "It seems that I have become a mere myth nowadays. Never mind, I trust you will treat my daughter well, Kamen Rider Faiz." Naruto nodded, with the still surprised face. Hagoromo then faced his eldest daughter, Kasumi-chan. "You're actually the first to pass the requirements. I'm proud of you. Live on, be happy the way you should be. I will always be watching you all in Kami-sama's court. Well, my time is up. I'll see you when you go to heaven." The legendary sage then dissolved into nothingness. Kasumi then broke down as she once again lost her father. Naruto thought as Kasumi cried into his chest, "She looks so vulnerable now. It seems we all have misjudged them. They're just like us, just like humans, with emotions and all." "Well, I'm not a human now anyways." Kasumi finished crying and let go of Naruto. She looked at Naruto. "If I ever get out of here, you won't say a thing about just now. I do have my reputation. And only you will see this side of Kaposhe." Naruto nodded. Kasumi then said, "Now, you should go. We'll take care of your problem later at night." Naruto then found himself back on the couch of Tazuna's house. The time still the same. Just a few seconds passed in the evening. He heard Tsunami yell, "Dinner's ready." The whole group then went to eat dinner. Naruto asked, "So, Inari, how's the chakra going?" Inari smiled. "I finally got access to it. I even succeeded in activating my Sharingan. See?" He opened his eyes to show the Sharingan with one Tomoe. His cousins smiled at him as they too had been like that when they activated their own Dujutsu. Soon, the group happily chatted as they enjoyed dinner. After that, Naruto went to sleep and found Hikari, Haruna, Suki, Yuki, Haku and Hinata sleeping beside him, all in almost see-through nightgowns, which made Inari, who walked by looking through the half-opened door, blush. Naruto saw the boy and told him to close the door quietly, to which the boy complied. He too was blushing as he saw the girls' perfect figures. Calming his nerves, he went to sleep, slipping into the mindscape where Kasumi was waiting. Naruto opened his eyes and saw Kasumi in the familiar sewers. He asked, "So, how are we gonna get to my mindscape?" Kasumi smiled, "Just focus on yourself. All I need to do is touch you and you will need to focus on going to your mind." Naruto nodded as Kasumi placed her hand on his shoulder, then he focused. He heard Kasumi say, "Wow, this is a whole lot better than Hikari-chan and Haruna-chan's mind. Naruto opened his eyes and saw a lush green plain with forests surrounding it. At the far ends were two mountains with the symbol Phi and the chest plate symbol of his orphanic form on the other mountain, each with a cave. Kasumi and Naruto nodded to each other as they walked towards the orphanic mountain and entered the cave. They soon found themselves looking at a large statue of Naruto's orphanic form. In front of them also sat a boy that looked like Naruto. Only difference was the hair was totally black and he wore weird robes, Eiji's clothes. The boy saw the two and smirked. "Ah, King, fancy meeting you here. And I see you brought Kasumi-chan. Let me introduce myself. I am another side of King here. I would say I am Naruto, but that'd be trouble. So I came up with my own name, Kenzaki. So, what do I owe the pleasure?" Kasumi frowned when he said her name. "First off, you won't use my name, and second, we're here to take care of you." Kenzaki laughed. "I see, fine. If the king defeats me in battle, we'll merge and he won't go berserk anymore. Though I doubt he can, shall we?" Naruto said nothing as he immediately transformed into Faiz and Kenzaki going into the orphanic form. Faiz drew the Faiz edge and charged Kenzaki, who drew the Madagabayu. Blades clashed as they parried. Kenzaki was forced to jump away as Kasumi shot her tails and would have impaled him if he didn't. Kenzaki laughed and he said, "So unfair, you two are teaming up on me. I'll change that." He then willed a large wall that separated Naruto and Kenzaki from Kasumi. Kasumi shouted, "No," as she kept hitting the wall, trying to break it to no avail. Kenzaki laughed. "So, it's now you and me." Naruto said nothing as he prepared himself. The next few moments were bad for Naruto. He held his own, but he could never land a hit. As for Kenzaki, he could land a hit every once in a while but was otherwise evenly matched with Naruto. Kenzaki asked, "You said you wanted to protect our precious people, but you can't even defeat me. How are you going to do that?" Naruto gritted his teeth. Kenzaki continued, "The way you are now, you will soon end up like on the bridge." Naruto yelled, "Shut up. What would you know?" They locked blades. Kenzaki shouted back, "I know everything. I am you. I have every of our memories. You said you'd protect them, but how when you have only this much power?" Naruto felt a burst of energy but shrugged it off. "I will stand up when I fall. I will become more stronger. No matter what way I use, I will protect my precious people." Naruto then felt the burst of energy, only larger. Kenzaki and Kasumi's eyes widened as they felt the energy erupting from the Phi Mountain and Naruto at the same time. Then, a flash of light appeared as the Phi's blaster appeared in front of Naruto. Kenzaki was shocked. "How? You weren't supposed to have it until you went into the mountain." Naruto reached out and grabbed the Phi's blaster. Then he appeared in a white plane. In front of him stood a red-haired man. The man said, "Uzumaki Namikaze Naruto, I am Uzumaki Takumi, the first Faiz. Your determination, while you don't know about it, is strong. You accepted the deal like almost all of us, and you didn't go insane. We deem you ready to awaken your blaster form. Go, defeat and conquer him." Naruto nodded and he appeared back in the cave. He took the Fai's blaster and dialed 555 and pressed enter. Then he slid the Fai's phone into the slot. The device announced, "Standing by." Awakening. Naruto's visor glowed as he glowed red. The light died down to reveal Naruto totally red, with a backpack behind him. Naruto dialed 143 and pressed enter. The blaster announced, "Blade mode." Kenzaki gritted his teeth as the two charged again. This time Naruto proved to be stronger. He then dialed 5214 and pressed device announced, "Fai's blaster, discharge." The bloody cannons flew into motion and blasted Kenzaki away. Naruto then pressed enter again, and the device announced, "Exceed charge." He jumped up and kicked, coming down as the hit landed on Kenzaki. Beams of energy erupted from Kenzaki as he yelled in agony. The beams had cut the wall, allowing Kasumi to see the final moments of the battle. Naruto jumped away as Kenzaki reverted to human form. Kenzaki forced out, "Good, make good use of the power. I entrust you to protect our precious people from now on. Farewell." Then he exploded into nothingness. Kasumi ran to Naruto as he fell down. Naruto chuckled, "Guess the strain is finally getting to me." Kasumi sighed, "You're either the stupidest or luckiest person I've ever seen." Let's just go to sleep, you've had a long day. Naruto nodded as he went unconscious. To be continued.